Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your host, your boy OD, and today we are reviewing and analyzing chapter 332 of My Hero Academia. This chapter was the hype shit. I feel like a broken record at this point. Cannot wait for the anime. I'm gonna be doing that whole Deku rocking back and forth thing, just like the entire time, just how hype this fight has been. I just cannot wait to see it animated. It's going to look fabulous. If this is your first time on this channel, do your boy a solid, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. Bang that bell would mean the world to me. Join my League of Otaku. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into the review. All right, guys, chapter 332 of My Hero Academia. The title is kind of a mouthful. Let me see if I got it. New model hypersonic intercontinental ballistics. Man, Ngaka was not playing around with that one. And so we start off this chapter with a nice little flashback. We see Star and Stripes before, she was the big hero she is today, while she was still up and coming. And she's chilling with the homies. And I was actually really excited to get a flashback that was like catered around the people that are currently like piloting the ships around her. That's actually who these people are. They're not just random people in the military that she worked with. They're the actual pilots that she is fighting with. And we have my homie who the mangaka did super dirty with his low and even. Look, I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy there's a brother besides, what's his name, Rocklock or whatever. There's another brother in the series. The mangaka is trying to be, incorporating and whatnot, but what did you do to my man's hair? And I can't even front, like, my hair is all kinds of ratchet right now. So I don't have the right to talk about anyone's hair, but like, what is this? Anyway, let's move on. So in the beginning of this chapter, or I should say, while she's developing her quirk, she's having some issues, right? She's come to terms with the fact that no matter what she tries, despite how powerful her quirk seems in on paper, that for whatever reason she is not good at enhancing her own strength. And she's really down in the dumps about it. And like everyone's essentially telling her, like, hey yo, you need to chill. Like, you're fire. You're like, you and All Might are monsters. Yeah, you might not be as like strong as All Might, but like All Might is like high tier. It's essentially being like, I don't know. It's essentially being like, give me a second. It's essentially being like Superboy and being frustrated because you're not as strong as Superman. Well, it's Superman. Also, you have the potential to possibly catch up to him one day or have your own strengths or weaknesses. Honestly, that was a bad example, but I kind of got stuck sitting here trying to figure out what kind of example I wanted to use. So we're just going to use the Superboy Superman example. I want to use different heroes that aren't even in the same category. And then I was going to go into like Dragon Ball Z and being like, that's like being like Piccolo and then you're Goku. And I'm like, that's such a wide, vast gap. But that's the problem with Dragon Ball Z. I was gonna say Vegeta, but like Vegeta's still insanely strong, like right there with Goku. I was gonna say Gohan. I was like, you know what? I screw comparisons. But but yeah, and so she's down in the dumps about like how she can't physically enhance herself. And she even starts to go like, it's because I'm a woman, because they say quirks have some kind of correlation to your innate abilities. And like she really has some ride or die homies because they're like, yo, chill, don't worry about that. If there's anything wrong, it's the quirk that's messed up, not you. And I was like, it's the quirk that's lacking, not you. And honestly, that kind of hit my heart. I was like, yo, these are good homies. When you see like good friends, good nakama, good people, you recognize them. And in this moment, I was like, all right, these are some like, I could see why in the last few chapters the connection she's made, how like she's like, they've always had my back, all like it's starting to all like come together now. And so, she's still in the we flash back to, modern day, and she's holding the Cairns on All for One, right? And she's pretty much just waiting for these missiles to show up to bombard him with. Now, something interesting that happens that kind of bothered me or irritated me, and once again, this could possibly be a reader error thing, is she's like, I need to let go of the laser rule. And I was like, what? So my question is, did she get rid of her super strength and then had the atmosphere will be 1,000 times my size rule and re-invoke the I can hold lasers rule, or never got rid of the I can hold lasers rule and just dropped the power, like I'm strong rule or whatever, and only had those going? And if she did do that, how the hell is she standing on like jets and stuff? So like, I don't know if I missed something or what, but that kind of bothered me when she was like, I need to let go of the laser rule. I was like, well, I thought you already let go of the laser rule, because I remember, if you guys remember my last review where I was like, how is she holding the laser with her atmosphere? So I guess that she had to have released her physical enhancement rule, but once again, how is she still doing crazy, insane things like standing on jets moving at like high speeds? Don't tell me that's something she's capable of doing in like base form, because I'm gonna have to cut you off there. And so I'm gonna speed through this fight. Long story short, All for One is hip that something is going on. He knows that she's buying time. He knows that she's trying to do some kind of immediate damage and just end the fight. And he was right. And she releases the laser rule in order to control the missiles and has them come back around to bombard All for One. Now the thing is, All for One was prepared for this, and he basically uses decay in order to decay a hole in the ground and get himself out of harm's way. Now, it does just enough to keep him alive, but he is hooked up, bro. He is jacked up. And so he immediately, in order to get back at her or whatever, is somehow able to jump on one of the jets. Now, I have really mixed feelings about this part, because this part made me go, I feel like there were multiple things you could have done here. I feel like the jet pilot could have done a barrel roll, like get the off my plane. Who the hell are you? Um, I feel like, obviously this part would never happen, but she's a hero. And we find out that the specific jet pilot that is in the jet that All for One is currently on top of is that black dude I was roasting earlier that like always looked out for her and was a homie. And so like he's telling her, "Yo, do it now. Like the explosion will take him out." He's like, "Yo, this is our chance. Like this is what we do. Like I'm down to die. I'm ready to die." Like even earlier, like they even said that like they were prepared to die, and she even told them that like I'll take your bodies back to America to your families. So like they were supposed to be like committed to this. But Star just give could not bring herself to kill her friend. And it's just one of those moments where you have to like weigh this thing going on, right? Because it's like, one, what would you do in her situation? Obviously, a lot of people think, it's just easy. Like, I would have just, it's the greater good. You have to get rid of All for One. If you don't, millions of people are going to die. That's super easy to say, but say your best friend is in that jet. Like, would it be as easy? And for some people, yeah, maybe. But for others, not so much. And I don't know if like one of my closest homies was in a situation like that, and if I would be able to do it. And here's the thing that happens next. So because the dude takes no form of evasive maneuver or anything, um, and Star decides not to crush him with her atmosphere, All for One jumps to Star and Stripe and puts his hand on her face. And we obviously know that he's probably going to use decay and Killer, or probably, I don't know if Killer, I forget exactly how, like, if he's able to just like how his power absorption works. But base long story short, she's pretty much screwed. It's check. But I don't want to say it's checkmate yet, because I think it's just one of those things where the mangaka's leaving us on a cliffhanger, where he's leaving us in a situation where things look bad, but they're not quite as bad as it seems. I saw a lot of comments saying this, and this is pretty much what I figured. Um, there's numerous things she can do. She can say her own name, be like, "This quirk can never be taken from me. This quirk can never be used." Um, she could activate it and like, what else? I had a different idea. But basically, there's a plethora of things, in my opinion, she could do right now. Anyone touching me, but she has to say their name, so that wouldn't work. So she can't say anything using All for One's name, Shigaraki, or any of that. Like, she can't do that. Um it would all have to be on her. And so she could be like, anyone touching me loses like whatever body part is touching me. Anyone touching me loses access to their quirk. Their quirk doesn't work. Anyone touching me can't steal my quirk. Anyone touching me, um, I don't know. There's a lot at hand here, and then the mangaka also put in that whole limitation on the fact that New Order isn't absolute. So anything that she possibly could do, if she doesn't do it, the excuse that the written in canon excuse is, oh, the court doesn't do that. The court doesn't work in that degree, especially with, like I said, when it's biological in nature. And I guess like quirks are biological in nature. So I think that was the mangaka's way of setting up for it possibly not to work. But like I've said before, I would really, really hate if this was kind of like a Deus Ex Machina moment or Diablo Ex Machina moment for All for One, where this great, awesome quirk is introduced for the sole purpose of him taking it. Uh that would really, really blow. I would honestly hate that. But all for all, really, really dope, really, really dope chapter. Is there anything else I want to talk about on here? No. I skipped over all the really cool parts where like the missile exploded and all that, but like I just didn't really want to talk about this chapter for too long. But yeah, I'll leave the review there for now. I know like I kind of really brushed over all the action sequences and the explosions and a lot of the fight, but pretty much you don't really need too much exposition on those. They were freaking awesome, and it's honestly just something that like I think the anime will make it like super hype. Um, yeah, I just really wanted to make sure to cover this. I missed it yesterday because of something, and I didn't have a lot of time to get this review done today. So I just wanted to get through the clip notes of it. But I personally really hope that Off One doesn't get her quirk. That's not to say that Star and Stripe doesn't die. I hope that maybe Star and Stripe gets like really, really brutally injured or something like that, or dies. But I really cannot comprehend this quirk being in All for One's hands. And when I say that, it's not because of the quirk itself. And you have to understand like what I mean by that, because the quirk by itself, freaking OP. But I'm saying this is an OP quirk stacked upon multiple other quirks. And for right now, it seems as though Shigaraki is only using like his decay ability, but like All for One should have many other quirks. So earlier when I was asking, is he going to be complete? Maybe when that's by the time they finish fusing, he'll have access to his other quirks. But for now, it's just the innate decay ability of Shigaraki. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot to be excited for. I love that only in 3 chapters of like introduction and exposition, I already care about Star. I already care about her interpersonal relationships with her pilots and all that stuff. That's a skill, like a really good skill on the part of the mangaka. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it here for now. Um, Honestly, not my best review, but I still hope you guys enjoyed it. Still hope you guys got something out of it, and I hope you guys have a great day. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me, and I promise awesome content in the future. I'm working on a couple things, and I can't wait to show you guys. Have a great day. This has been Otaku Talk. I'm your host, OD. Peace.